Hi, we live. We're back. We're in studio.
On beautiful Smith Lake.
Lakeside studio.
Lakeside
You left
studio.
it out. Yeah. We worked hard on this in here. But it's a cold night, but it's not cold in here.
No. It's going to be a cold morning.
Hope that wind dies down.
You're not supposed to talk yet.
Sorry.
Y'all can't tell. We got somebody else in here tonight. Very famous deer killer, deer slayer, turkey. I'm gonna just I'll steal it from Cuz. Thug, killer. I think if she had her choice, it'd be turkeys. I know it's my choice.
Mine too.
But if it's not, we'll forgive her. But if you didn't know, get on Facebook or any of social media, you'll see the stud. She killed an Okamogi last week, I think. But anyway, we got Kerri Marsh in here tonight. And if you don't know who she is, you probably know her makeup style or her, what do y'all call that? I don't put that stuff on my face.
Face paint. Face
paint, yeah. It's a distinct style, and I am going to figure out where that come from one of these days. But anyway, welcome to the great studio shed.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
You're going to have to get a little closer to that microphone or pull it to you. Pull it up there. It'll be all right. Listen, we don't edit, so.
Okay. Thanks for having me.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now we can hear
There she
you.
is.
You were sounding like Blaine's son in here. Was it Blaine? No. Come on.
Buck Williams. You talking about the guy talking about the African safari?
No. Yeah, he said way
He
back.
was way.
He would be up here talking like this, and the next thing you knew, he was leaning back. Then he was doing that on the top. We were in the kitchen from last February until when did we get this thing going? August?
Yeah.
Somewhere in August. And Rebecca told us she wanted her table back. So this was just an old shed. I'm talking about bad. You can dig around. You can see the pictures. We'd been cheaper to buy one than what we ended up doing probably.
That's nice.
But it serves our purpose. Got a little bit of a view and actually have daylight. So, but yeah.
It's going to be a while before we see those views.
Yeah, I know. And plus my fishing light died down there.
You still ain't fixed that?
I ain't been down there. You had me put in a mini split the day I was going to do it.
Oh, that's right.
I was off work. I had to go help him at his buddy's house. How's that working? Is it, he's saying it's doing okay?
Good, yeah.
It's 100% Chinese. He can't even get it switched to Fahrenheit. It just tells Celsius temperatures. But it works.
Yeah, he said it's keeping it nice toasty. So.
Well, anyway, we got the great Kerri Marsh in here tonight, and we was discussing people. You've been on our list for a long time. Of course, you're pretty busy. So, I mean.
It's deer season.
Well, I'm just wait. If it's not turkey season, it's deer season. If it's not deer season, it's show season. If it's not show season, it's fallow deer. It's fishing.
Something.
Yeah, you've got tons of videos of y'all. I don't know where y'all are at. Are y'all at Gunnersville or y'all up here?
We do a lot of our bow fishing at not Black Warrior.
No, y'all were
Warrior
bass
River.
fishing though a lot too, or something, or maybe it was some. I don't know. I thought y'all were in a bass boat in the rain one day.
Oh, that was me and Kinley.
Yeah.
Yep. She was practicing for her fishing tournament.
So she's on the fishing team.
She is.
Okay.
Mortimer Jordan.
See? Old Blue Devils.
Mm-hmm.
If I'd went to school there, I'd been Royal Blue because my mother graduated there. Who would have ever dreamed they'd have built that school in Trafford?
I know.
No, I know. I call it bone dry high. Boy, there you get mad. But anyway, I was a Warrior guy. That's where I went to school. Of course, it's no longer in existence. They tore it down, combined us in with the old Blue Devils.
I went to that elementary school, the Warrior. Mhm.
Warrior?
I did.
They got them a new school, I think.
They
Elementary,
do.
yeah.
They do. And the old high school's still there.
Yeah, I've been by the high school. I don't know what they're... I know there was a big stink when they painted over the Indian in the gymnasium. I never go to any of the alumni stuff because it's always turkey season. And, I didn't even go to my kids' baseball games during turkey season. It was just... If it was a weeknight, I'd go. But if it was a weekend, I'm sorry. I won't be there.
Yeah.
So,
You can just check me off of all the invite lists when it comes to deer season.
Once
turkey
it gets
season.
March, well, like I say, anybody can kill a dumb old deer. And he can. Now, not big deer, but anybody can kill a deer. But a turkey, not everybody can kill a turkey.
I can.
Well,
we've
killed them.
And I love it.
Oh, yeah. I want the story on that cow chase. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it's a good one.
Anyway, tell us a little about yourself. You are. You don't have to tell us how old you are. You're younger than both of us, so I know that. But
my birthday's tomorrow.
Well, happy early birthday.
Yeah.
And I'll be 36.
Oh, my God. My
I'm
oldest son's 33, so there you go. And I didn't have him until I was 26, so what does that tell you? I'll be 60 my birthday, so.
I'll be 44.
Y'all both little old babies. I got more life experience right there than both of y'all got. I got more. I was hunting turkeys when y'all were in diapers. Well, maybe not. Well, I don't know. I didn't start hunting turkeys until late.
You could have been our dad, though.
Ooh, that's scary to think about. Do you know, and we'll get on the other stuff, we'll let you talk in a minute, but yeah, cuz I'm talking again. But your uncle, Howie.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Howie.
Well, I mean,
it's not
your uncle, but it's okay. Corey's.
Let's make it weird.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean, but I never put it together.
Yeah.
That your father-in-law was his brother.
You know what's really weird? I lived with Howie. Corey and I started dating when I was 14, and we dated all through high school. And like my senior year, my first semester, my senior year, I went to live with Howie and Peggy. And so that Thanksgiving, I had a horse riding accident. Corey and I went horseback riding, and I had a horse riding accident, and I had to go to the hospital, had to have knee surgery and all that stuff. Well, we go to the hospital, and Howie meets us there, and he tells everybody that I was his daughter and that I'm getting married to his nephew. And I was so embarrassed because it wasn't like that at all. So that's kind of a running joke.
Me and Howie went to elementary school together. I've known him since he was 5.
And that's what Rodney was telling me today.
But I didn't put all that together, you know. I mean, Marsh is not a uncommon name, but it's not a common name either. But I just never put it together really till all the Facebook, and then, you know, he starts commenting on stuff or whatever, and I go, wait a minute. And then, I don't know if you know Tim Burton.
I do.
Okay. We all went to school together. Tim's my bug guy, and, you know, if you know Tim, he don't have no filter. But when Tim's mother died, Howie was there, and Rodney. They were at the funeral. And then I went, wait a minute. That's when it all came together. I went, I told Howie, I said, I didn't even know you had a brother. Actually, I didn't. All I knew was Howie. Howie was he's still a pretty good-sized guy, but he was a pretty good-sized boy in elementary school. And I didn't see him after 7th grade because we moved to Trafford. And I went to Warrior, so we became mortal enemies. I think he went to Jordan. Didn't he go to Jordan?
He did.
See, half of us, we went to Snow Rogers. So half, you know, depended, you could go to Gardendale or Mortimer Jordan back then. And so a bunch of them went off to Gardendale, and the rest of us went to Mortimer Jordan. But halfway through 7th grade, we moved. So I become a Warrior Indian. And we were big-time rivals. We'd paint that devil every chance we got. Matter of fact, I wasn't in on it, but a bunch of people I graduated with cut it up. They stole it and took a torch to it and cut that devil up. Got expelled. That was ugly. I mean, I know people do stupid stuff, but that was stupid. Throwing paint and stuff, that's one thing.
You know, the water tower, Corey, I think, was the last senior class that I got to paint the water tower, because back then that's what we did. Our senior years, we painted the water tower. But then, so they took it down, and then it was on the ground.
So you was at the old school?
Yes, I was at the old Mortimer Jordan.
Yeah,
yes.
That's where the old smoking pit was, out by the water tower.
That's where
they had smoking pits. You didn't have them when you was in school, I don't think.
No, we didn't, but we heard about them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we actually we took a torch and carved in class of 2007 in the water tower. And then the next class, they sunk it. So we heard they sunk it in Smith Lake.
The tower?
The tank that went on the tower.
Well, I know, and I won't call their names because I'm friends with them on Facebook, even though I don't think they're part of the 5 or 6 people listening to this thing, but they all went. It was the rival football game, so that week before, so, you know, everything would happen. I mean, Mortimer Jordan, you might go over there and toilet paper to school or whatever, and for sure that devil was going to get paintball balloons through at it or whatever. but they took it down. And it had been took down before and held hostage, but they took it down and took a cutting torch and they cut it up in little pieces. But they got caught. And I don't know all the details. Anthony didn't get to do all that because Anthony had to get a job when Anthony was 15 years old. So I worked. I didn't have time to go to football games and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so I didn't know you and Corey had been dating since you was 14.
14.
And I didn't know he was your cousin.
He's not my cousin. He is not my cousin.
I did find it interesting that, he's got a twin brother too.
Yes, he does. And he dated my sister at one time.
Now, see, that's weird.
It got really weird.
They never tried to swap.
No,
around.
God, no.
I mean,
no,
just as a joke. I wasn't saying that,
No, they didn't. No, I think when they were kids, they actually did for teachers. They would swap up or try to.
Well, a lot of times only the mother can tell them apart, especially when they're young.
Yeah.
But I never had twins, so I don't have to worry with it.
If the old guy from Midwest Minute listens to this one.
Oh, my God. Yeah, we were on the podcast. I forgot about that. We were on the Midwest Minute.
We're talking Alabama today, aren't we?
Oh, what was that he asked?
Well, you could tell he was holding back, and I said, look, no, me and Anthony aren't married to our cousins. We've got our teeth. I just went in. He started cracking up. He's like, well, I'm glad y'all are answering that because some of my friends are going to know that type of stuff.
We got our shoes on,
So, I'm not married to my cousin. Let's make that clear. I went and lived with Howie and Peggy my first semester of my senior year because I needed a place to go, and they opened their house to me. And I knew them through Corey, and they had room. So
I just ran into Howie. I was eating lunch one day a couple of months ago, and he was in there. I didn't even know. I didn't pay attention. I eat by myself almost every day, so I was finishing up, and I got up to go pay, and he went, Anthony. Of course, I knew his voice right off the bat. Howie, what are you doing? He said, I wish I'd known you was over there. I said, me too. I've sat over here and, watched YouTube for 30 minutes while I eat my hamburger. But, he's a good guy.
Yeah,
he's a good guy. So you live with him, then you and Corey move on after high school, or did y'all get married in high school?
No. So I lived with Howie and Peggy my first semester, and then I actually moved in with Rodney, and Corey moved in with his grandma. And then we're buying our first house, planning our wedding, all my second semester of high school, and I graduated high school, and then we got married in that June. And we've been together ever since.
I had two girls in high school got married between our junior and senior years, and we didn't even know it. They didn't tell nobody, but they were married. I mean, I don't know why it was a big secret, but I guess they just didn't want us to know or want anybody. They went by their maiden names and everything, but they were married.
No, we didn't get married until after high school, and then 3 years later we had Kinley. So
yeah, she was when me and you met. She was little.
Yeah, she was. I think she was 3 or 4.
Yeah, y'all were driving that little bitty car. I remember you put that big old deer on the top of it.
Well, I had a truck, and then they were like, "Oh, you're not going to be able to put a deer on that. Why'd you get a car?" And I said, "Watch me."
She come in. What kind of car? It was
It was a Chevy Cruze.
Yeah, it was a tiny car. She threw that big old deer right on that dang thing because I was telling Rebecca you were coming tonight, and I wasn't sure because Rebecca's number 2. Okay, so I've been in that club since '98 down there. So there was a lot of. I didn't know if she was before or after you, but she was down there when you were down there.
Yeah, she was.
She said, "Yeah, she used to grow up through that deer on that little bitty car." So everybody, that was how you're known.
I had to prove a point. Yeah, well, I had to prove a point, and then I had my face paint because I've had that same face paint design for.
All right,
a long time.
I had that wrote in my notes, and I don't go by notes. I'm not like Cuz and them. I'm not going to send you a list of crap so you can rehearse. Where'd that come from? Where'd you come up with that? Because nobody else does it.
I've just always done it for myself.
But I mean, the first time you did it, you didn't start looking like Kiss or whatever. You didn't make your design, did you?
Yeah, I did all that myself.
So I know that, but I mean, the first time you went deer hunting and put face paint on, you did it that way.
I did it that way because, well, for turkey hunting, I would actually do almost like a turkey foot on each side. And then for deer hunting, I did the upside down deer antlers. But I've done that from day one.
Is that what that is? An upside down deer antler? I've never seen you standing on your head, so I wasn't sure.
That's what it is. But see, I hate wearing face masks, and I was like, and I also cannot stand to wear that goopy face paint that they sell in the stores. So I don't use that. But
what do you? I mean, so you're not using camo grease or all that junk? No,
because it's greasy and
is
it's
it like
sticky.
a makeup you're using then?
It is. Well, I started out using eyeliner at first, just eyeliner. Well, then I went to Hardy Face Paint, and then Hardy Face Paint went out of business during COVID, and they have actually, somebody else has bought the company now, and they're getting back up and going. But I'm working on doing my own face paint.
Hey, I was going to say you should go ahead and get into that market, because I've noticed a lot of little girls. I'm not going to say boys because I haven't paid that much attention, but they're wearing that design.
They are.
Lots of them.
And I have, and I've noticed it too. And because I get to ask this a lot, and it's just something that I've always enjoyed doing. I hated wearing face masks, and so I just started painting my face up, and it's just become a thing. And I do it every single time I'm hunting.
So you're married?
I'm married. I've been married. I'm not married.
You got
golly.
Got 2 children now.
Corey and I have been married for 18 years, and got 2 children.
3 more years, you'll be married longer than I was my first time. I made it 20.
Well, so 15 and 6.
There you go, 15 and 6.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I don't know what
she killed her first deer.
She killed her first deer last year.
That's right. I know. I keep up with it.
And then she killed another one. And see, Kinley hunted by herself for the first time last year. This was the same evening hunt. And
in a standalone on her own.
Yeah, we were.
Well, I mean, she was 14, but I mean, that's about. Well, when I was young, I was give a gun at 11, but I mean, that's about right.
I killed my first one at 9 in my own stand.
Well, she's been begging for years, and I never would let go of the reins far enough for her to do it. And I've heard horror stories.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on now. How old were you when you started hunting?
14.
Okay.
But I've always wanted to go.
Did you?
My family didn't think that was for girls. That was a boy sport, and you didn't do that.
I don't. I wouldn't agree with that.
And they didn't. Girls didn't shoot guns, and it was just
man.
Yeah. So I always wanted to go. And my uncle one time hit a deer, or the neighbor hit a deer, and it landed in the back of the truck. And I was so mesmerized by it. I think I was 5 or 6. And I got up in the back of that truck, and I was holding those deer antlers. I just thought it was the coolest thing. And he went hunting a good bit, and I always wanted to go, and I never could go.
So they wouldn't let you go, or he didn't ask you to go,
No,
so
it was
just a guy thing.
It was a guy thing. So Corey and I met at church, and a vacation Bible school at church, and it was kind of
he hunted
together ever since. Yeah, Howie took me hunting for the first time.
Howie.
I
don't even think he hunts anymore, does he?
Yeah, he does.
Does he?
Just not as much as he used to.
Well, he don't talk about it a whole lot.
No, he don't. No, and for good reason. But
no,
that's another story for another day. But
yeah,
he took me hunting for the first time, and it was roughing it too.
So that was your first. Howie took you on your first hunt, but you knew you wanted to hunt.
Oh yeah, I bet
5 or 6.
I came in from school. Yeah, I did, and I came in from school one day, and he was getting ready for hunting camp, deer camp, and he's throwing all of his stuff in the truck, and Jesse, his stepson, was going to go with him, and I said, I want to go. He said, you want to go hunting? I said, yes, I would love to go. Can I please go? He said, well, if you want to, get your stuff ready, we'll go. He said, but this ain't going to be easy hunting. He said, we roughing it. There's no running water. There's no power. We're going to have gas heat, and that's about it. We'll have a fire outside, and we'll cook over the fire, and we're going to have bottled water and baby wipes, and that's about as good as it's going to get. So I hope you're ready. We're going to break you in right. And they did.
And you loved it.
I loved it. I killed my first deer that weekend.
Was it cold?
It was cold. It was very cold. He taught me. I remember sitting in the stand with him the first time, and he was telling me to watch. We were on a long. It wasn't a power line, but it was a long road, and it was a green field. But we were sitting there, and the birds would fly up, and he was like, "Okay, get ready, because there's probably a deer fixing to come out." And so, and still to this day, I watch for the birds to fly up to see if that's usually a sign of deer's coming, or the squirrels starting to bark and all that stuff.
I noticed these little, I call them gnat catcher birds. You'll see them fly around deer and pick the stuff off. I watch for them. For some reason, I'll see one light on, might come across a cut over or something in the forest, and probably not as much as I think it happens, but all of a sudden a deer will show up, and that bird will fly over there and get a.
But I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I had a 6-point this past weekend come out not far from me, and he had a bird on his backside. And he was turned around. When I looked up and seen him, he was turned around. He was turned hard to the left and was licking at that bird. Not looking, but he was trying to lick it. I thought that was the coolest thing. I'd never seen one do that before. But yeah, I know.
You ever seen birds on deer?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I'm not crazy. I mean, I wasn't raised as a deer hunter. That wasn't deer when I was growing up. Know where I was at. My dad didn't hunt deer. He was a rabbit hunter, squirrel hunter. So that's what I grew up on. So I had to teach myself. So kind of same way with turkey hunting. But so sometimes I'll ask dumb things like that. Have you ever seen that? Because I don't know. I mean, you know. You ever seen Sasquatch?
I've seen some crazy stuff in the woods. I've not seen Sasquatch.
I have. But we won't go there. It's another story.
Hey, Bud used to swear he's seen one.
I did see one. I saw one. Let me tell you where it was. It was on Highway 139, about 7-8 miles out of Maplesville going toward Montevallo. That thing ran across the road. It was either Sasquatch or the biggest, giant, naked black man I'd ever seen in my life. It was that far away. I could just see the run, and I was going, why is that guy running across the road? And then I realized when I got there, there's no houses. He come across the railroad and went that other way, and that was my Sasquatch story.
But you know what's crazy is Buzz had a very similar story. He was hunting over ag fields, and then one come running across the ag field and jumped a fence and never checked up. He said it never checked up. There was no houses close by. There was just their hunting camp.
I'm telling you,
he said, and he would tell you to this day that was what happened, and that's what it was.
My brother,
believe me or not,
I don't know how we're getting on Bigfoot. That's one of them holes I told you we'd go down. But my brother, when he was in high school, junior high, maybe high school, somewhere in there, 9th grade or so, he was squirrel hunting behind the house off down on the creek in Trafford, and he came in scared to death. He'd seen. We didn't know at the time about Bigfoots in Alabama or whatever, but he was calling it a monkey boy. He said it was about the size of a young boy, and it was down there in the pines, picking around, didn't see him. And he had just went off down there to go still hunt squirrels. And I'd have to we'll get him on here one of these days if he'll talk. He don't really talk too much about it, but he come and tell us about Monkey Boy, and of course we laughed. And you know how you do when you're kids, but he's 57 years old now, and he'll look you in the eye and say, I saw it. It stunk. It played around and mingled around. He saw nothing else. And then I don't know if it saw him and ran off or if it just went on about its way, but he, matter of fact, he'll be deer hunting down there Saturday morning, the same spot. But, yeah, so we assume it was a juvenile Sasquatch. I don't think there's monkeys running around in Trafford. Could be. Who knows? They were running around somewhere. The bunch of them got out of that lab.
Was it North Carolina, South Carolina, or something like that?
So you're hunting as a teenager with Howie.
With Howie.
All through, high school, y'all all kept it up?
Yeah, it was. So I started hunting with Howie, and then I started going with Corey some and Rodney. But I mainly went with Howie. Look, I was so dedicated to hunting, and I had just started. So I started going with him like the first weekend of gun season, which is like 1st November. Oh, it was second weekend of November or something like that.
This was all, you was bow hunting then, or was you just gun hunting?
That was gun. Okay. So it was the first week of gun season in Alabama, November. So I was so die hard at it, and I loved it so much already. I had a horse riding accident. It was the day we got out of school for Thanksgiving, same year. And broke my knee. I was in a field. I'm talking about 8 inches of tibia and ACL.
See, that makes me hurt.
Yeah. So all of this. Okay, they had to take me to the hospital. I ended up having to have surgery on my birthday, a couple weeks later. So that week, and it's because
I mean, yeah, your birthday's tomorrow, so that was
so just a few weeks. So because we had to I had fractured my ankle on my right leg, and then had done all that damage to my knee on my left. So I was in a wheelchair. Well, Howie was like, we were supposed to go hunting for the whole week.
You messed it up.
He said, well, you don't have to go. I will go and you can stay back. But I was like, no, I'm going. And I went.
You went on crutches and
I was in a wheelchair. Yes. For a week. And I killed deer.
Was it still the same primitive camp?
Yes, the same thing.
So you wheeled out by the fire. You wheeled out with your wet wipes. You did it all.
I did it all. And you can ask Corey. He actually, and it was sandy soil, and he was trying
to push that wheelchair through that thing.
Yeah, and he was so irritated, but he did it, and we killed deer, and we had the best time, and I've been hook, line, and sinker ever since. But I don't think he ever realized that I would love it just as much, if not more, than he does. and kill more.
I think
than
it's
he does.
more.
I do. And I
think it is.
definitely love the turkey hunting more than him.
So what turn? I mean, yeah, you do kill more turkeys than he does because he don't have that passion. I don't understand people that don't. But.
It just hadn't grabbed him yet, but I'm hoping that one day it will. But see, he would always get aggravated because we would go and we'd see turkey, but we would have these close encounters, but we weren't killing anything. And part of it was my fault because I wanted to kill my first bird with a bow. I was just so stubborn and dead set. That's what I was going to do. It didn't happen like that, but I'm
remember
okay with
that bow you hunted, and then I saw the shotgun come out.
And I had so many close encounters, and my cameraman, which was Corey, and I would have a turkey. I was at full draw at one time on a turkey, and I'm talking. He had like 3 steps to walk from behind a tree for me to be able to let go on him, and Corey didn't know what I was doing, and he does this. He's like, "What are you doing?"
And the turkey.
And I was like, "Oh my god." Oh my gosh, what did you just do? And I was like, you got to stay close enough to me that you could communicate with me, because you get too far back, you can't communicate. And it's hard to do when you're turkey hunting anyway. So anyway, we've had a lot of close encounters, but he's just not going to suffer for a turkey. He don't like getting ate up by mosquitoes. I don't care.
No, I don't either.
I do not care.
Mosquitoes, snakes. I've been on rattlesnakes. It
does not bother me.
Moccasins.
Now I hate snakes, but
I don't like them.
I don't care.
That's
when I'm
part
turkey
of
hunting,
that's just part
especially
of it.
if I got my eyes on one. I don't care what I have to go through to get. I've army crawled across. Look, I had a snowmobiling accident. Hurt the same knee. This was 2 years ago. Hurt the exact same knee. We were in Wyoming, and it was 3 days before turkey season.
Were you all just vacationing? You wasn't up there scouting something out?
No, we were skiing, and good thing we skied and snowboarded a couple days beforehand, because we were our second to last day there, and I crashed my snowmobile. I zigged when I should have zagged, and I crashed, and I caught it on video. It's pretty funny.
Snowmobiles aren't easy to ride.
They're not, and it is not like falling into a cloud when you come off of them either. It hurts. It hurts really bad. It's like driving a Sea-Doo on snow.
You have to learn. You kind of steer with your butt and arm. I mean, yeah, I was in Colorado. We was up there and did the same kind of. We went snowmobiling, and I thought it was going to be like riding a 4-wheeler, but it is nothing like.
It's riding a Sea-Doo on snow and ice. To me, it's just the same. I mean, except
when it rolls over,
it hurts.
It
hurts really bad.
A Sea-Doo, you got water, you just go underwater, but and that snow is generally packed. I mean, Sea-Doo, a snowmobile, they weigh like a 4-wheeler. I mean,
well, we had 3 foot of fresh snow because it come a snowstorm on us, and it still was not like falling.
Was you flying?
I was. Okay. I was standing up too. And I went around a curve.
Do you get the idea that somebody's a risk taker over there? Probably don't listen to her husband's going, don't do that.
Have you not seen me hanging off the side of those side by sides?
I know.
I've done that too. We haven't done that in a while though. But yes, so I hurt my knee. I came back home, had surgery that Thursday. Turkey season opened up that Saturday. So instead of I tore my meniscus. So instead of having my meniscus repaired, I had them remove it. I did not have them replace it. Had they replaced it, I would have been non-weight bearing for 6 weeks. So I wanted a turkey hunt. And Dr. Kane is a really big turkey hunter too. So he said, okay, I got you. I said, I want to be in the woods Saturday hunting. So do whatever you got to do to make me be in the woods by Saturday. And I was.
I needed him when I broke my wrist because me and my orthopedic went round and round and round about bows and shotguns.
Well, he's a big turkey hunter. So a big deer hunter. But he understood. He knew exactly what I meant by I want to be in the woods by Saturday.
So,
and I did.
If you were told you could only hunt one,
deer or turkey,
yeah, one animal. Period. Yeah, I mean one in North America anyway.
Before this last season, I would have said deer, but this turkey 100%. It's turkey 100%. Because I've had,
God, if you'd only been 57, 58 years old, you'd been the girl. You'd been the girl of my dreams.
No.
I've got one that supports me 100% on it, though.
Hey, you got a pretty good one. You better hold on to her. But just turkey hunting. And I had the best season, and I pray to God. If I never have another turkey season like the turkey season I just had, I will be still blessed because it was incredible.
Well, let me tell you, I've been turkey hunting since I was about 17 or 18. generally, a great year is followed up by a not so great year.
We'll see.
But listen, if I hear one, I consider it great personally.
Yeah.
I mean, the silent years are the bad years. I mean, there's been a lot. I don't know. I don't know the last whole season I went without killing one. It's had to be 30 years, but somewhere in there, I've killed generally one. But this last year, I call it a fantastic season. When did we go to South Dakota? That wasn't year before, was it? Year before? I could make myself a liar because we went to Florida. If I'd have killed and not missed, I would have had a single season Grand Slam that year. Was that the year? I had to be the year before. Yeah, it was. So you may not have a bad year, but I've got a buddy that he thought he was better than Eddie Salter after he had his super tagged out in Alabama and killed in Kentucky season. Mm-hmm. That next year, he couldn't
that's why I don't brag too
one.
much.
No. Listen, nothing wrong with bragging.
No,
I
but
love
see,
to brag.
I don't really. I'm blessed. I really am. I've been very fortunate this year, and I've only been turkey hunting. We've been turkey hunting for several years, but our oldest daughter used to love to play softball, so that took up all of our turkey hunting time. So she finally quit playing softball.
What are you going to do if that young one plays softball?
She has no interest. This kid loves to hunt.
Oh, so
she
you learned
loves
early. Go ahead and just
her
get them
name's
all
Huntley for a
brainwashed.
reason.
And
Yeah.
come on with me.
Yeah, her name's Huntley for a reason. It's in her blood, and she just loves it. And she loves it more than Kinley. But yeah, she wants to kill her first bird. She wanted to last year, but she's gonna get one this year. But so I've been turkey hunting hard for 3 years. Killed my first turkey last year. Can you believe that? And all it took was the one to break the ice.
Whoa, that Redbeard, he's the one that coined the phrase, it's a damn disease. And it's true.
It is.
I've never heard it described better. It's a disease.
Yeah, I hate that I love it so much sometimes.
I have physically thrown up when one got away from me. I hunted one so hard one day, and I got it all. It was down there in Dallas County. And that bird was supposed to come to my left. I caught him all the way across the holler. I mean, just right there across from them trailers are, right in there. There was timber back in there then. And a squirrel coming in the road, and I looked like you're not supposed to. But my gun was that way, so, I mean, I kind of turned, and when I looked back, he was right there. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting right in the curve of the road, and his head was up. And before I could move the barrel, he was flying down that holler, and I physically threw up. I've been there for 4 hours trying to get that bird to make him commit. Oh, and I messed it up. Yeah, no, I'm mad at that squirrel, but yeah, I messed up.
I've told Corey if we ever get divorced, it'll be over turkey hunting because I get so frustrated at him, and I've tried to do better, but I get so frustrated at him because he wants to sit way behind me when I'm up to bat to gun or to shoot, and I was like, you've got to sit close to me. You got to sit right next to me because we got to be able to communicate. And if you can't communicate with me and know what I'm seeing, because there's a chance you might not be seeing what I'm seeing, or vice versa. And I said, we got to sit close to each other. And then we're getting some of the biggest arguments over that.
Hey, we're not married. We'll sit on the same tree.
But yeah, he and this year was better. But
and maybe that's something. It's just this is your third year. This will be your fourth year. Mm-hmm. You'll get in the groove.
I think
if you could just make him leave his gun, so you could just do all the shooting. So once I kill my limit in Alabama, then I'll film.
Yeah,
doing like we tell Brandon's dad that we put one of them bang shells in there, and when the flag comes out and says bang, he says, "Boys, you just have to know Brandon's dad."
Well, I just tell him if he'll listen to me. I said, if you'll just listen to me, I'm not a pro at it, but just listen to me. Because there's one piece of property I hunted, and we had been scouting Travis Ham, and I had went down. I got him to come down with me. Because we had some friends.
He's a good guy.
He is a good guy. We had Andrew Janakis and Dexter Roberts coming home with. You know who those guys are?
Oh, yeah, I know that. I mean, I don't know him, but I know of him.
So,
I mean, we're not friends. Let's put it that way. Well, he wouldn't know who I am.
He come down to hunt with us on some property I got down in Demopolis. Yeah. And I got Travis Ham to come. He was up here hunting with me, and he killed a turkey on one of my pieces of property. And then we went down there to scout for them because they were coming in that weekend. Then I killed a turkey the next morning.
you ever been invited? You've been invited over there?
No.
No, nothing. Oh, no. Okay. All right.
You can come watch the hens. And Jake's. Want to do that?
Let me tell you something. Travis Ham is nothing on Anthony Crow.
But you invited me to come kill does.
I did. He'll let you probably come shoot does. You got plenty of does, too.
I don't care what anybody shoots.
Well,
I am going to hunt with him.
Because that's a whole different subject.
No, but for real, I love taking people hunting. I don't care if it's the only bird I have on my property. I enjoy watching other people kill just as much as I like it. I love.
No.
Look, I'm sorry.
I just lost you. I just had look a child.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Or a first time hunter or something.
Now figure on me, and they had their chance when
Or
they was
like
a child.
As you're
Not when it comes to
as you're
turkey.
getting older, I mean, I'll more want you to kill them because I know your days.
That's what. Is that why?
Yes.
Is that why you let me shoot and then that
I
got
love
away
to
from me
film
down
them,
there
though.
this year?
Man, I almost threw up that day.
Hey, listen. Yes, last year, I think I had a fantastic season. I mean, really did. I killed 3 right down the road at my uncle's farm, and then I done killed one in Tennessee. I don't know if I killed that in Tennessee.
I don't think so.
Anyway, I'd already killed a couple by then. Call went in for my son to kill. So, but we go down to his club, which I magically joined this year, but not to deer hunt, but I can. But we're down there on this. I don't know where I'm at. I've never been there. Birds gobbling. We got him coming. I can see him. I've already killed 2, at least 2. Yeah, it had to be 2. I'm going, I can kill him. And I know he ain't killed one. All he's killed is a tree. He shot a tree.
I had an accident right before opening myself.
Yeah, well, you going to blame it on that?
Well, man, it messed me up. But
He smashed his finger, but bad. Like there's no bones in there no more.
Oh,
But
I broke my knee.
I know how you feel
I
when you were
was-
telling that story.
But I'm going, I can kill this turkey. I can kill it.
He told me, he said, you going to shoot or what? And I said, man, it's just a little bit far. He said, well, I got it. I mean, I can kill the bird right now. And I said, well, kill it. I mean, we won't see one flop, kill it. I mean, I ain't going to hold back.
Don't tell me more than once.
Yeah.
And it didn't take long. And
It went down.
But
He
I get
went
just as much
down.
excited as I do when I'm killing one.
He was
though.
doing that. I'm shooting apex, all that crap about you ain't got to run to them no more. Don't believe that crap. You run. Don't ever not run. Don't walk up on a bird. I don't care if it's not moving. I had a zombie bird. I said it was a zombie bird. I shot it. I went and took pictures with the bird and went back to get my chair. And when I turned around, he was standing up.
Are you great? Are you serious?
I'm serious. I took
That's
pictures,
insane.
had him holding fan pictures. I can show you the bird. And when I went to get my chair off that pine tree, 40 yards away, I turned around. Now, he was dead. He just didn't know he was dead, but he was standing up. Everything hit the ground. I punted that turkey like a football to kick him over. So then I shot him with apex. So he didn't have to stand on his head. He was dead. He didn't even kick. But I called him the zombie. That was year before last or something. It was over there at Bremen. I've killed a lot of turkeys in Bremen. My uncle's got a nice little. I'd like to say he'd let people come over there and hunt, but he wouldn't even let my brother come over there and hunt. Only thing you have to do is you have to listen to him. He's a Democrat.
Oh.
Hey, it's worth it. I'll just sit there and smile. I can smile more now, but
you wear a cover-up shirt when you go over there.
I don't. The only thing I said to him last year was, you might as well get ready. Trump's going to be your president. Him and his wife both. And it's kind of, nobody hates each other, but I mean, they are. Well, it's bad. You just have to sit there and suffer. But you know what? I would probably change Joe Biden's diaper to kill a turkey in Joe Biden's backyard. That's just how much I want to do it.
I understand that, though, believe it or not.
Are you making noise over there?
I am.
Listen, look. Nothing. There's water, too, if you need water.
Yeah, I've chased a turkey or two.
You can't chase them down. You can if they, if they got some shot in their head. Mm-hmm. We chased one I killed one in Tennessee. I had to run about 200 yards.
I had to chase mine in circles and then tackle
Was
him.
this the cow?
Yeah.
Go ahead and tell us that story, because I've got other stuff I'm going to ask you. But let's talk about the cow turkey. Because I laughed. I had such a good time at work.
It was pretty funny because poor Corey, my cameraman, he needs some work. But he forgets to, but I love him. But he forgets.
Well, you should if you're married to him. It always helps.
Man, but turkey hunting. Anyway, I was filming, and all the good footage is is footage that I got. So I had this bird.
Are you bragging on yourself?
Yeah,
or you said you got a bad cameraman?
Yeah, I'm bragging a little bit about that. So
maybe send him to camera school.
Yeah, he just forgets to watch me or whatever his target, whatever he's videoing through the camera. He's like he.
I know all about that.
I forget to hit record, so you wouldn't want me to be there.
No, yeah, that might not go over well. So look, we knew we were going hunting the next morning, but it was supposed to storm right at daylight. So I'm talking about it was pouring down, coming a monsoon. So Corey was like, "Oh, we'll probably sleep in a little bit," and I said, "No, we can sleep in the car." He said, "Okay, if you want to go, we'll go." And I said, "Okay, we're gonna go." And we get to our spot, and this is out in Morris. So we get to the spot, and it was daylight before we went out to because we have to walk across the pasture to get to the barn, and it was coming a monsoon. So we waited in the car, and when the lightning lit up, just so you could tell it was getting further away, we walked to the barn. And then the rain started easing up a little bit, and I said, "Okay, I want to be in my spot where I'm going to kill this turkey before the rain lets up, because when the rain stops, they're going to be in the field." And sure enough, we went out there, and it's pouring down rain still, and we get set up, and the rain starts to ease up a little bit, and I take the cover off my camera and I get it set up, and sure enough, I see a hen come out, and then I see a big old tom come out, and he's doing his little his dance, where he's doing his thing, where y'all know what I'm talking about,
strutting.
Where he's not strutting, he's frisky, and he's
doing his little wobbly thing.
Yeah, his wobbly thing where he's got his, what he's doing.
About.
Yeah, so he's doing that and putting on a heck of a show, and he's about 200 yards away. But where I was set up, I knew that he was going to come through there. So we had some hens come up, and they passed by us about 20 yards, and the cows, usually midday, the cows start coming out toward because there's 3 fields. There's the first one, and there's a middle one, and there's one in the far back. So they love the middle field. So that's where the barn is on the first field. So we get past the barn, and we're set up on that tree. And a bunch of the hens come through, but he's really staying back with 2 other hens, and they start working their way to us, and then they go back. I'm like, oh, man, okay. So I got my decoy out and put him in the middle I crawled over and put him up, my Jake decoy. And the hens come up over the hill. And then he comes up and he struts for a few minutes at the top of the hill. Then he comes down through the woods, and the cows are coming. And I'm just like, oh, man, come on, buddy, come on. And he looks over, and he sees that decoy out in the middle of the field, and he comes booking, and I'm talking. He's running with everything he has towards me, and the cows are coming. And I'm like, I got this. I'm shooting him with the 2.2. Is it not a 2.23? It's a 410. So I'm shooting with the 410, and he's running towards us. And I was like, man, if I don't shoot now, the cows are going to intercept us, and we're going to have a problem. So I let it rip. Let it go at 50 yards, and he flopped and tried to run away. And I got up, threw everything I had, camera and all, threw everything down, and ran to him and just chased him in circles, and then tackled him and ripped up my pants. He had big old spurs on him, and I'm rolling on the ground with this bird, ripped every one of his tail feathers out, and it didn't break a single one. I don't know how that happened or how that didn't break any of them, but it didn't. So anyway, I stood up and I grabbed him by the head, and I'm holding him up, hooping and hollering, and I look over and I see the cows, and when I look over there, the bull is patting the ground, and he's got his head down, and I was like, oh, okay, whoa, and yeah, that's and I said a few other words and took off running, and Corey's laughing the whole time, so the camera's dancing all over the place.
I can hear him. You can hear him laugh.
God, it's hilarious. Then I jumped the ditch, and this doggone cow is still coming after me, and the whole herd follows, and it was just. It was a cool hunt. It was fun. I wish I'd have weighed that bird, because it's probably going to go for it probably would have been a state record. He's huge. He has 22 tail feathers.
Kerri,
he's huge.
You a scale with you. We carry scales with us. We carry tape measure with us.
I've never taken a scale with me, but I've got to start after that. It was my last bird of the season.
You got to. There's not a whole lot you can brag about, but weight, spur length, that's and beard length. That's really all you can brag about on a turkey.
Yeah.
I've killed one 26 pounds before.
This bird was huge. Have you seen the picture of the bird? I did the cape or what a mount on it, where it's got the back of the bird, and then it's got the
in the box. You talking about in the box?
No, it's the cape. I caped him out.
Yeah.
And it's like his back. It's like the caped him out, and he's got his.
Is this your bird you're talking about? No, I have not seen that one.
So it's if you see them both, I mounted Corey's and then I mounted mine, and mine it's about the size of my wall's a little bit bigger than your wall here. It takes up the whole wall, and Corey's and his was a big bird. His beard on his bird was over 12 inches, so he was a big bird. This bird dwarfs it. It was huge, the biggest bird I've ever seen or heard of being killed around here. So I wish I had a. You
should have measured him, weighed him.
We did measure him, but we didn't weigh him.
Oh, we generally weigh them.
Yep.
22 tail feathers.
I keep we got our like little turkey hunting totes that we take everywhere we go.
Yeah.
And we keep.
You should keep one in a motel bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's interesting.
Couple
it's like a crime scene. We've had some bloody rooms.
Well,
lots of feathers.
Lots of feathers.
I killed.
Are
my
you
first.
playing footsie with me again? All right, son.
Don't get Alabama.
Listen, we've
went past the line.
We have we were checked in a hotel somewhere in Oklahoma in the middle of the night. This old guy just kept questioning him. Do you have pets? Do you have this? Do you have that? Finally, he just looks at him and goes, "It's just me and my dad." And I'm just standing there like, what the heck? What? Okay. You know, the whole Indian guy, okay. Oh.
He was wanting that extra $20 or whatever it was for pets.
Yeah. They charge extra for pets, apparently.
I killed my first solo bird this year, too. I went back out, so we didn't hear much. We did hear some birds.
I've never team hunted until me and him got together. I've hunted 20-something years, never with nobody.
I've always hunted with Corey. And then I went with a buddy of mine a few times.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I like hunting. I mean, I like team hunting. I guess that's what you call it. But I like to get by myself sometimes. That's why I like going over to my uncle's house, because I'm going to be by myself generally.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was hunting in Demopolis, where we took Dexter and Andrew. And when we went out scouting the day before their hunt, 2 days before their hunt, we seen some big old birds out there. So we knew they were there, and we got them on some birds. They just didn't cooperate. They were kind of on time schedule, so usually doesn't work out that great when you have a time frame. But so I went back out there. Corey and I did the next weekend, because I was like, I'm gonna kill that bird. I got too much history built up with him now. I'm gonna kill that bird if I have to do it by myself. So Corey and I went out, and we heard a few that morning, and it was kind of a cool morning, so we didn't hear too much. We went back in about 9 o'clock, and Corey took a nap, and I said, you know what? I ate me a sandwich. I said, I'm going back out there. And I did. We were hunting through a swamp, and had all kind of bird sign out there. So I set up, and I waited. And I'd never called by myself before, but I had that call, and a spur brand call. And I kept saying, something just kept telling me, if you pick that call up, they'll come. And I was beating myself up. This is this conversation.
Like Field of Dreams.
Yes.
Use the call. They will come.
Well, I mean, look, I was beating myself up thinking if I did that, I would never hear anything.
Why?
But I learned real quick. But see, we may judge each other on how we call, but the turkeys don't judge.
No. I mean, if you're in the woods enough, you'll find out turkeys sound terrible.
Yeah.
A hen, I've heard some of the worst sounding hens I've ever heard in my life. I'm going, that's real?
But I set up, and I kept thinking, you gotta call so they know where you're at. So I did. I picked that call up, and I had one cut me off the first strike on the call.
That's a good feeling.
And he cut me off, and I said, that wasn't a turkey. And I was just talking to myself, I was like, was that a turkey? I wonder if Corey's in the woods, if he's hunting, he's just messing with me. All this stuff going through my head, and I hit the call again, cut me off again. I said, oh my God, that's really a turkey. I'm doing this by myself. This is really happening. There were 3 birds out there. Well, 2. I worked 2 birds, and it felt like hours, but it really was only about 45 minutes. But I called this one up, and they never would come any closer than like 75 yards. And they would strut. I had one to my right, one to my left, and then they would strut to me, and then they go back. They like get close to each other, and then turn around and go back the opposite direction. And I worked, and I was like, all right, you got to do something. You got to make a move. You got to crawl to them. You got to do something because dark's closing in by this time. And he said, I was telling myself, you're going to have to do something. So I kept hearing something behind me, and I kind of adjusted myself to turn around to see what was coming. And then they started clucking. I thought, oh God, I done spooked one and then busted me. And it had not busted me, but it was another bird that had, I guess, seen those birds working back and forth, and they were coming across. So
So it was a gobbler behind you?
There was a gobbler behind me too.
So he was putting at them other.
Yeah. So, because I was good and hidden, and
that's great. You had live decoys out in front.
Yeah. So he come around, and I could have he was not 5 feet from me when he come across, but it was too thick to get a shot. And so I watched him, and it opened up about 30, 45 yards, between 30 and 40 yards or so. Anyway, it opened up, and so I took him there, and it was just crazy how it worked. He ended up being a double-bearded bird. Mm. He was a big bird, too.
I killed a triple beard one time. I've never killed just a double. Now the beards was only, but one long one and then a couple.
Yeah, well, so his main beard was 11 and a half, and the other one was 4.5 inches long. So he was a big bird, too. I'm going to do a full body mount on him. So...
Make sure it's the one you want, because, man, it's hard to put a lot of full-body birds in the house. I know I want to, but I would have caped a lot more. I never knew anything about caping until a few years. I didn't realize how it's not that difficult.
It's not, and I've done several.
We had a guy basically show us in Texas, and it was like, we can do that. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I hadn't done it before. I've got my South Dakota bird still in the freezer. He's caped, rolled up, and I forgot about him this spring. So he's there. My Osceola's down there. What is that? A Rio. Their Texas Rio's down there. Because that's the first one we ever caped. Or they caped for us.
We did the Osceola second.
We did them ourselves, though. Yeah, we did that in the motel room.
That's awesome. Yeah, I did it.
Hey, I had to go break in and get some cleaning supplies, bags and stuff. Because it was late. Was that the night? Was we leaving? Was that the night I got in trouble?
The next morning, yeah.
We're up because we ain't hunting the next morning, and it had to be close to midnight. Getting up there, we're done. I'm talking about when Wes and them pulled up. And
that's a whole different year.
Oh shoot, man! See,
we done Florida twice.
Oh, that's right. That was the second trip down there.
Yeah, but that's the day that we hunted in the blind for 12 or 14 hours. Yeah,
he killed one, and then I finally killed one. Right, I mean, it was the last minute. Right before we was gathering our stuff to leave.
And we had to leave the next day.
It was funny because he's going to video. And I said, well, just let me know when you're ready. And I thought his videoing and he'd say, I'm ready. And that was my cue to shoot. As soon as he hit the button, I guess his thinking was, all right, I'm recording. He said, I'm ready. I mean, I didn't wait.
I've got like 1 second video clip.
Hey. 14 hours, I'm ready to shoot.
No, you video. So, I get so much B. We call it B-roll.
We showed that to Eddie
Salter.
Yeah, we were hunting with him down there, and he said, "I can tell you ain't no TV hunter." I said, "I thought he was filming. The bird was coming across. I had the gun up. Just tell me when you're ready." Ready, boom.
We seen a lot of birds that day.
Oh my God!
Seen a white filming bird before that.
Now, listen, we were getting our stuff together.
You got to understand, we'd been in there since before daylight, and it's going on 7 o'clock.
We've been hunting 5 days straight already.
Yeah.
Wasn't it 4 days, 5 days? So we were trying to get back for Alabama opener.
Yeah.
This is on Friday.
Yeah.
And us trying to close out our first Osceola.
Because Eddie had already left to go home.
Yeah, he done went home.
We just stayed in the hotel. And we was on they do a charity. Do you Steve Green? Do you know Steve?
I may know if I see him.
What is he? He does the Shot Academy and Southern Grown hunting. Good guy. very, I'd say religious.
Yeah.
He owns some funeral homes and stuff, but he's got land all around Gainesville and stuff. And him and Eddie do a couple of hunts down there to help out. It's some kind of charity thing.
It's for their church, the trips.
Yeah.
Church, you know.
So anyway, Eddie had done left, but he said, "Yes, stay and hunt." We paid, you know, so we stayed. And I tried to crawl on one before you shot yours. Was that before or after?
After.
Okay. Well, I can't tell. I can't tell you everything. I'll tell you off the thing. But anyway, it was basically his turn to shoot, and we had that one come in.
That messed him all up.
Well, I realized statute of limitations might not ran out on that one, but but we don't edit this, do we? No.
No.
So anyway, a beautiful big bird comes in. We're in the same blind together on the most uncomfortable stools. I felt like I was sitting on a peg.
We both on Millennium blind chairs now.
But so we're in this blind, and this bird comes in. He's where I'm at, and I'm there, and the bird's there. So all I do is I slide down, and the barrel's right. The barrel ain't this long anyway.
I shoot a 20 gauge youth model.
That you did,
Remington.
You're not shooting it now, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, I can get back up. I'd slid down. But the barrel comes across my face and is barely, maybe clearing when he kills that turkey. Because that was about 1 or 2 o'clock?
Yeah. Yep.
And then I couldn't video him because I'm laying down thinking I might die. But you'll do anything for a turkey.
Yeah.
So and do anything for your hunting buddy. So anyway, so then we're sitting there and then we see one way down 200, 300 yards away, 200 yards away. And I think I can crawl up on this turkey. And I did. I would have. I got to where I needed to be, but when I got there, he wasn't there.
The neighbor on the four-wheeler
The neighbor come up on a four-wheeler down the fence line and run the turkey off.
Oh man, that's terrible when
And
you're
he had
working.
been-
like
And I
all
mean, it
day.
wasn't the neighbor. He didn't know. He didn't know he was out there
But
hunting.
Anthony had been crawling a while. Like I'm watching.
I'm in the briars.
That
I
would
mean,
make you sick.
It wasn't quite as bad as the cactuses in Texas, but it was pretty bad because sawbriars all up and down through there. And so we're back in the blind. His turkey's laying there, you know, and I'm done give up. And like I said, we done eat all of our food, drank all of our water, and I've been sick. I was sick as a dog that
We were
week.
putting our
We were getting all of our stuff put
I
together.
told Anthony, I said, bird. He said, where? I said, 2 of them right there. 2 gobblers. We could have doubled. If I wouldn't have killed already,
Yeah, we'd have doubled.
we'd have doubled right there.
But he, you know what? Thinking back, I was legal that day.
Mm-hmm.
I killed 2 turkeys in Florida. You can kill them in the same day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, anyway. But he goes, I'm going to film you. I'm going to film you. Okay. I'll tell you when I'm ready. All right. If they say that, what were you going to do? I'm ready.
Yeah. Well,
I thought I meant ready. Shoot. I'm ready. I didn't know ready. I just hit the record button.
No, ours is on it, but we're recording long before that.
But we didn't know.
We got to do B-roll. You got to do B-roll so you can plug
Listen,
it in.
we were doing an iPhone roll.
We don't have
That's
no
all
cameras.
right, too.
Listen. I ain't killed enough to let a camera come between me and the turkey. I ain't toting no camera.
Well,
I'll video them when they're on the ground.
I can't-
Do you think anybody wants to look at me? I don't have that upside down antler painted on my face, and I ain't a pretty girl. I'm just an ugly old man, and I ain't got much time left. So,
whatever. So the biggest issue Corey and I have is like turkey hunting. He doesn't really like to listen to me. Not because I know more.
no
'cause I
husband
don't.
wants to listen.
No,
to their wife.
but I don't. But see, I had been hunting at this place where we killed a double-bearded bird. I had been hunting it a lot more than he had that week. The week prior, so I knew where these turkeys were hanging out, and I was like, because he kept telling me that turkey was not. It was not behind us. It was in front of us. I'm telling you right now, that turkey was not over there. I said, that turkey is in that field right through the swamp right there. I said, I bet you money, and it was getting daylight at this point. And he kept walking out. I said, okay, well, I'm going to go over here and kill this bird, and you can go chase whatever ghost bird you're looking for over there. And he said, oh, you just killed one yesterday. You got to come over here with me. I was like, well, this is where I'm going now. And I started walking in that direction, and he followed.
You're a tough woman.
Well, we get over there, and he's getting set up, and I've been fighting with him over this seat that he's got. I don't know what kind of seat it is or what brand it is, but it sits over a foot above the ground. And I said, you look like you're sitting on a step stool in the middle of a cutover in orange. That, to me, you're standing out like a sore thumb. You need to sit on your butt because that's not going to work for me. And he was fighting that chair, and I said, Corey, sit down. He said, I'm not going to be uncomfortable. I said, the bird is coming through the middle of the field. He was like, no, it's not. I said, look to your left. And a big old bird's coming straight through the field, coming right to us. He said, oh, yeah, there it is. And he leans against the tree, and he slides down it really slow. And I'm already against the tree, and I'm already filming. And it's all on video with him. Like, oh, no, it's not. No, I said, Corey, the bird's coming. And he shoots him. He shoots him at 30 yards. He comes running right to us.
But you were filming.
I was filming him. And but I got
great footage.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, really good footage.
Sure.
Yeah. And if we don't have good footage, we do B-roll so we can make sure we can put it in. But that was really good footage. But it was on GoPro. Well, I had it on my GoPro.
I was going to ask you what camera you use.
I have a GoPro. I use several. So I have a GoPro. I have a DSLR camera. And I have my phone, which I have.
What about a video using?
My DSLR, I use that.
What is that? I mean, so
it's a video camera, but it's just you can do still pictures with it too, which to me is a pain in the butt to use. But once you learn how to use it, it's good. It does just as good as the other, if not better. But they can be a pain, especially when you're self filming. And when I killed my velvet buck, I was filming with 4 cameras.
Well, I know we're getting long here. I don't know exactly how long we've been in this. Oh, it ain't been but an hour. I know you got to get up and go hunt tomorrow, so I don't want to take too long.
If I may not even go to sleep tonight if I'm going hunting in the morning.
All right, everybody, we're going to stop the podcast right here. This is such a great podcast, and it deserves to be a 2-parter. We've never done a 2-parter before, and I hope you enjoyed this part, and we'll come back next week and listen to the second half. Kerri is such an interesting person, and has had so many outdoor experiences. So come back and join us next week for part 2 with Kerri Marsh.